Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we delve into a topic that has shaped headlines and human lives for decades. We're talking about the Israel-Palestine conflict, a deeply complex and emotional subject. Our goal today is to provide you with a clear, unbiased overview of the history, key issues, and perspectives that surround this ongoing conflict. Whether you're new to this topic or looking to deepen your understanding, we hope this video offers valuable insights. So let's unravel the conflict together. The conflict. The land from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, known as the Holy Land, has been a crucible of civilizations and a battleground for centuries. Home to sacred sites revered by Jews, Christians, and Muslims, it has witnessed the rise and fall of empires and countless conflicts. No conflict has been as enduring or emotionally charged as the one between Israelis and Palestinians. This struggle, rooted in competing claims to the same land, continues to shape the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. For Jews, this land is their ancestral homeland, the biblical land of Israel, where their patriarchs once walked. For Palestinians, this land is their home, passed down through generations, where their families have lived and worked. The conflict is not merely about land or borders, but about identity, history, and the right to self-determination. It is about two peoples who believe they have a legitimate and exclusive claim to the same piece of land, fueling decades of mistrust and violence. The seeds of the modern Israeli-Palestinian conflict were sown in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, marked by rising nationalism and the decline of the Ottoman Empire. The arrival of Jewish immigrants, fueled by Zionist aspirations, ignited tensions with the Arab population. The Balfour Declaration of 1917, promising a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, further exacerbated tensions. Following World War I, the British were given a mandate over Palestine, tasked with balancing the competing demands of the Jewish and Arab populations. Jewish immigration continued, and tensions escalated into violence, culminating in the 1947 to 1948 Civil War. The war ended with the establishment of the State of Israel and the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, known as the Nakba. The 1967 Six-Day War further altered the geopolitical landscape, with Israel's occupation of the West Bank, East Jerusalem, Gaza Strip, Golan Heights, and Sinai Peninsula becoming a major point of contention. The events of October 2023 marked a perilous escalation in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, pushing the region to the brink of war. Tensions began to rise in early October following clashes between Israeli police and Palestinian protesters in and around the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in Jerusalem. The situation deteriorated rapidly after a deadly attack on October 7th, when Hamas militants infiltrated southern Israel from Gaza, killing hundreds of Israelis and taking hostages. Israel launched a massive aerial bombardment of Gaza, targeting Hamas military infrastructure, but also resulting in significant civilian casualties. Hamas continued firing rockets into Israel, paralyzing life in southern and central parts of the country. The conflict quickly escalated into a full-blown war, with both sides accusing each other of war crimes. The region was engulfed in violence, with no end in sight. The Gaza Strip, home to over 2 million Palestinians, bore the brunt of the October 2023 conflict. Already grappling with a dire humanitarian situation, the enclave plunged into a full-fledged crisis as Israeli airstrikes rained down. Hospitals, overwhelmed with casualties, faced acute shortages of essential medical supplies, electricity, and clean water. Homes were reduced to rubble, schools were damaged, and essential services were severely disrupted. Thousands were killed, including women and children, and many more were injured. The relentless bombardment forced hundreds of thousands to flee their homes, seeking refuge in UN-run shelters. The situation in Gaza became a symbol of the human cost of the conflict, a stark reminder of the devastating impact of war on innocent lives. Jerusalem, a city sacred to three religions and claimed by both Israelis and Palestinians as their capital, became a focal point of the October 2023 conflict. The city witnessed a surge in violence and unrest, further deepening the divides and fueling the flames of conflict. The clashes at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound served as the initial spark that ignited the tinderbox. The violence quickly spilled over from the old city into other parts of Jerusalem. Jewish settlers stepped up their activities in Palestinian neighborhoods in East Jerusalem, further inflaming tensions. The international community reacted to the October 2023 escalation with a mixture of condemnation, concern, and calls for restraint. The United Nations Security Council struggled to pass a unified resolution condemning the violence or calling for a ceasefire. The United States, a staunch ally of Israel, faced criticism for its perceived bias towards Israel and its reluctance to hold Israel accountable for its actions in Gaza. The European Union, while condemning Hamas's attacks and supporting Israel's right to security, also expressed concern over the humanitarian situation in Gaza. Some European countries criticized Israel's actions in Gaza as disproportionate and amounting to collective punishment. Regional powers played a complex and often contradictory role in the October 2023 conflict. Iran, a staunch supporter of Hamas, condemned the Israeli offensive in Gaza and provided rhetorical and possibly material support to Hamas. Egypt, a key mediator in past Israeli-Palestinian negotiations, played a more active role in trying to broker a ceasefire. Despite its strained relations with Hamas, Egypt leveraged its communication channels with both sides to facilitate talks and secure the release of hostages. Other Arab countries, including Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE, condemned the violence and called for a ceasefire, but were cautious in their criticism of Israel. These countries, while sympathetic to the Palestinian cause, also have complex relationships with Israel, driven by shared security concerns and economic interests. The two-state solution, the long-held international consensus for resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, seemed more elusive than ever in the aftermath of the October 2023 war. The two-state solution, envisioning an independent Palestinian state alongside Israel, has faced numerous challenges, including the continued expansion of Israeli settlements in the West Bank and the status of Jerusalem. The October 2023 conflict further exacerbated these challenges, deepening mistrust and hardening positions. Critics argue that the two-state solution is no longer viable, citing the growth of Israeli settlements and the deep divisions within Palestinian society. They propose alternative solutions, such as a one-state solution with equal rights for all citizens or a confederation model. Amidst the geopolitical complexities, it is essential to remember the human faces of the conflict, the ordinary Israelis and Palestinians whose lives are directly impacted. For Israelis living in the south, life has become a terrifying ordeal, punctuated by the constant fear of rocket attacks. Families huddle in bomb shelters, schools remain closed, and the streets are eerily deserted. The trauma of the October 7th attack and the constant threat of violence have left deep scars on Israeli society. For Palestinians in Gaza, the situation is even more dire. Trapped in a cycle of violence and deprivation, they face a daily struggle for survival. The constant fear of airstrikes, the loss of loved ones, and the lack of basic necessities have created a profound sense of despair and hopelessness. The October 2023 conflict served as a stark reminder of the urgent need for a just and lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians. The path to peace will be long and arduous, requiring painful compromises and empathy for the other side's narratives. It requires addressing the root causes of the conflict, including the occupation, the settlements, the status of Jerusalem, and the plight of refugees. Ultimately, a lasting peace can only be built on a foundation of mutual recognition, respect, and understanding. It requires both sides to acknowledge the other's pain, narratives, and aspirations. The international community has a crucial role to play in facilitating dialogue and providing humanitarian assistance. However, the ultimate responsibility for peace rests with the Israelis and Palestinians themselves. Only through direct negotiations, based on mutual recognition and a commitment to peaceful coexistence, can they hope to build a future of peace and prosperity for generations to come? At the heart of the Israel-Palestine conflict lie real people with hopes, dreams, and struggles. It's essential to remember that beyond the political rhetoric and historical narratives are individuals who seek peace, security, and a better future. Understanding this conflict requires empathy, open-mindedness, and a commitment to learning. By exploring these complex issues, we can foster a more informed and compassionate dialogue that moves us closer to the possibility of lasting peace. Thank you for watching. We hope this video has provided you with a deeper understanding of the Israel-Palestine conflict. Remember, staying informed and empathetic is key to navigating such complex issues. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more educational content. Feel free to leave your thoughts and questions in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Until next time, stay curious and compassionate.